We're back. It only seems like it's been a few days.
It has, twice a week.
Yeah. Wife doesn't like that. My wife doesn't like that. I hate people who say, oh, the wife.
The wife, yeah. The bag for life.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, so there have been some injuries, as everyone will know.
Key injuries, yeah.
Key injuries. So who have we got out?
Lewis
is out. I mean, he was holding his hamstring.
Yeah, we noticed that the last game. Not good.
We thought Pinto was going to come in, but he's gone with Godfrey and Zimmerman and Closer. So
which is really interesting.
I'm assuming it's Godfrey who's going to be playing out of position.
And Evo clearly well and truly out of favour. I mean, if he's not going to come in out, you got to think we might sell him in Jan.
He's not Farkas type of player.
No, evidently.
Is that if he wasn't rapid, he wouldn't be a professional footballer.
No, it's true.
You know, the fact is that he relies heavily on his pace. He's not a very skillful footballer.
No,
really, and not a footballer in what Farkas wants. Okay, so Liner was missing last game, but again he's still missing.
Ligaments.
News is he's going to be out till the end of the month.
Ankle ligaments and
ankle ligaments. He's going to be out till the end of the month. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're looking at Cantwell and Vrancic. We might have a bit of a soft underbelly for the likes of Derby. You'd expect them to knock us about a bit, but it's really important that we can have key injuries and still win.
Yeah.
And we can't keep having these insane kind of rock 'em, sock 'em, come from behind wins and draws.
Exactly.
We got to have 1-0s. You know, hopefully we'll defend resolutely with the 3 fullbacks today.
And teams like West Brom, I mean, really, apart from West Brom, after that there's a bit of a gap. But West Brom are definitely on the charge.
Yeah.
And Leeds are looking pretty bang on.
I remember, when we beat Middlesbrough 1-0, we were just so clean that day. And yet at the time we were concerned about our goal production. We've rectified that, but where has that kind of defensive sureness gone? We need to get it back if we're going to stay in this position in the league.
Yeah, for sure. Need to start well. Obvious cliche.
We have some of that.
Face. All right, we'll see you at half time.
Bye. Well, here we are. Unbelievable first half yet again. We scored 2. Fantastic. We were 2-0 up.
Deservedly so.
Deservedly so. We pressed them. We made them look pedestrian with our pressure. They gave us the ball back a lot in their back third.
We're all over them.
We're all over them, and we scored 2 very well worked goals. We then conceded 2 poor goals, both from corners. First one, Tim Krul has to do better. Doesn't make himself big in his goal. Virtually comes right at him, goes in. Second, the second goal, our defenders get caught between man marking and playing zonal. Tetty's not up on his man. Ball comes in, bounces off Tim Closer. Yeah,
Pookie didn't clear either corner, and he should have done.
Yeah.
But, you know, regardless of Krul, the overwhelming problem that you can see is, like you said, we're playing zonal marking from corners,
and which
just doesn't work evidently.
No.
Like, look, it's simple. You mark a man, you stay with him, you stop him.
Yeah.
If you do that, you've done your job. Whatever else happens. But you just need to stop your own man. Because the fact is, the guy who scored the goal, Tetty, was quite away. You know, probably like 3 yards away from him. If Tetty's tight on him, he doesn't get that opportunity to score.
No.
You know, the fact is that they've scored 2 very, very easy goals. We had to work.
Adrian Falls, my lord.
We had to work pretty hard for our goals. And they were great goals. Ben Godfrey scored the first, Pookie scored the second. Going forward, we've looked great. Another thing that really bothers me is that Todd Cantwell, and this isn't a dig at him because he's been playing fantastic, but Todd Cantwell needs to go down when he feels the contact, because Derby certainly are. And he's not going down, and the referee's not giving him the free kicks, which is ridiculous. But he's being pushed all over the place because he's a very good player. And he needs to go down. And one of their chances, and maybe one of their goals, came from directly from something that should have been called as a foul against Todd. But he just needs to be smart with that.
Yeah.
I'm so furious. We conceded on the stroke half time.
I know. And you know, it's like at the moment we are conceding like Billio every game. Soft goals. Derby are shit. Let's be honest, Derby haven't looked good today at all. They've got no business being 2 goals into this game. Yeah, but we've deprived them of the ability to really use that. They did absolutely nothing in that half, and we gifted them 2 goals for set pieces.
They got a few corners and they scored from 2.
As you said, very, very frustrating. If they come out of this, if Derby come out of this with a point or 3, I'll be absolutely furious.
Yeah, we need
to restamp our authority on this game, get another goal and put it to bed. Insane that it's 2-2.
We were so comfortable
Insane.
at 2-0, at 2-1, and even at 2-1. I mean, even at 2-2 rather, they could have gone in leading. Derby,
but time and time again, we're playing these games like the Millwall game, unbelievable though it was. Millwall had no business scoring 3 goals against us that game. No business at all. We need to sort this out. And I hate to be a cruel basher, but I think we need a keeper in Jan, because I think if you tot up all the bad mistakes he's made this season, I think they amount to points.
Oh, yeah,
and points mean prizes.
Well, I don't know what to say really. It was a weird game in the sense that there was a floodlight failure at the ground, which I've never seen before in all my years going to Carrow Road. So second half, it was 2-2. We managed to have a period of play where we were really knocking on the door again, and eventually we scored.
It was our fitness came into play. The fact that we've got this. The reason we do so well late on in games is because we're fitter.
Yeah,
and that was why the light went out as soon as we scored, and there was
about 81 minutes gone.
Yeah, and there was a period of about 20 minutes while they were trying to sort it out. And to be honest, that suited Derby far more than it suited us, because they were able to recover. We were on the ascendancy at that point. And we came out, it just really took away from our momentum. I'm not saying, they still could have scored, but the fact is we conceded such awful goals today.
Yeah, terrible.
Their equaliser, I kind of think Tom Tribal had just come on. He could have brought the guy down earlier on, but I don't know who it was who was running, but Tetty was there as well. For some reason, even though Tetty's there, Closer comes to the ball.
There was some
guy
confusion.
Just plays it.
There was some confusion
onto the wing, and then we're at sea because Closer's basically ball watching and not realising that Tetty is dealing with the situation. Closer loses his man. You could argue it was Max Aaron's man, but Aaron's was out of position. 4th goal, Zimmerman gets done. Zimmerman can't handle pace, basically.
No, and
imagine if we got promoted and he was in the back 4 against someone like Aguero.
So essentially, to summarise, we could have scored. We collapsed and lost 4-3.
And we could have scored. We hit the underside of the bar at the end. But to be honest, a point wouldn't gloss over the problems that we clearly have. We've conceded 7 goals at home in 2 matches.
And within even the Millwall games, the unbelievable game we won 4-3. There was a collapse within that game where we conceded 2 goals. We were in the lead, we conceded 2 goals.
We've been getting away with it.
There was a collapse against Forest.
There was a collapse against Bolton.
Yeah,
was it Bolton we were 2-0 up against?
And it was 2-2,
and we scored late.
And there's a collapse today, and it's
they genuinely happen.
It's
at
naivety,
home,
it's defensive
management.
It's cruel being shit. I'm going to put it out here. We need a better keeper.
100%.
Because in a game where at the end of the season it might come down to fine margins, Tim Krul has already personally cost us points that had we still had Angus Gunn in goal wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, we need a better keeper.
And we need a better keeper.
Even if it's a reserve keeper, that's someone that's going to ask questions of Krul's performances and be knocking on the door if Krul does mess up. Because McGovern's clearly never going to be given the shirt.
I think he's an average keeper with really dodgy tendencies. Positionally from set pieces, he can be very, very shaky, and he's just got mistakes in him, and we can't afford it. We need a better keeper. Absolutely, even if it's only reserve keeper in January, even if it's only on loan, we need another option because he's just consistently making bad mistakes. He should have done better for their first goal. He should have done better.
But we had this coming. We really did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. I think that's what's frustrating, and you have to say that.
I'm not sure I should say this because I don't want to throw anyone under a bus. But during the power cut. Not that it was a power cut, during when one of the lights was out, Jordan Rose was warming up in front of us, and I said, "Hey Jordan, do we play zonal marking from corners?" And he went, "Yeah." And I said, "It doesn't work, does it?" He said, "Well, when it works, it's great, but..." And I said, "You're just too static. They can get a yard on you too easily."
I said it didn't work today.
Yeah, it didn't work today, and he said, he sort of agreed. He agreed. It doesn't work, because the fact is, after half an hour of football, of us being camped in their half, them not being able to get it out. Every time they clear it, one of our defenders or defensive midfielders is latching onto it, and then we're going again and again. It was a relentless barrage of attack after attack, and then we rightly so went 2-0 up. They hadn't had a sniff. They'd had 30% possession, they hadn't had a shot on target, they had 2 speculative chances off target. To go in 2-2 and to finish the game 4-3 after half an hour, if you told me Derby were going to win that game 4-3.
I know, but it's just, you know, it's symptomatic of us, these collapses, we've conceded so many goals. And that was a very pedestrian. The scary thing is that was a very pedestrian Derby team that scored 4 goals against us today. And it's just
not a great Forest team that scored 3 goals against us. It's not a great. It's a poor Millwall game that scored 3 against us.
Absolutely.
And Millwall are nowhere near the place.
And as you just said, you know, and you mentioned after the game, although not on camera, you know, about game management. When you're 2-0 up against Derby County at home to go top of the league, you've got to be able to manage. You've got to be able to kill the game.
Well, I was thinking,
you've got to be able to kill the game at that point. And at 3-2, with less than 10 minutes to go, you've got to be able to kill the game.
Well, I compare it to how we used to play when in Farke's first season, when things were pretty boring and there was all this possession. Yeah, we had no goal production, but we had all this boring, slow possession football when we used to pass around back 4. We should have done that a little more.
Yeah.
Not only that, Todd Cantwell needs to be cuter when going. Well, all of them really, but certainly Cantwell was the most guilty of it. And this is just him being young.
Yeah,
but
and you
Derby were going down every time they were touched.
You know, you mentioned the subs.
It breaks the game up.
Yeah.
1, you get the foul, but 2, it breaks the game
up.
And
I was surprised that Ivo Pinto didn't start today. Again, you know, I don't want to obviously bash Daniel Farke too much because obviously we love him and he's awesome. But I was surprised.
Godfrey did play well.
Godfrey did play well. But I'm still surprised that Ivo wasn't used. You could have brought Zimmerman off for a time because Zimmerman was on a yellow as well, quite early.
Well, that's the thing.
You could have moved Godfrey across.
What I would have done
and brought Pinto.
What I would have done, I would have taken off Zimmerman sooner. I would have taken off Zimmerman sooner. You can't be seen, mate. Unfortunately, I would have taken off Zimmerman sooner. Oh, she's gone now. Brilliant. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
And I would have put on Grant Hanley for Zimmerman because Zimmerman was on a yellow, and consequently he was at fault for the last goal, and he couldn't foul him.
No, but
mind you, it may have been a straight red anyway. But
also,
we would have gone top today.
I know, and I think more than just the one game, more than the opportunity. I mean, fortunately, other people around us have dropped points, thank God. But it's more the general state. It's more the underlying issues that we don't feel. You know, it feels like that's.
And the thing is that it's not like we're getting undone by these incredibly well worked good goals.
We're just collapsing.
4 goals.
No, we're just kind of self-destructing. We're just collapsing, and you know that particularly the goals. I mean, the 2 first goals, 2 set pieces, disorganisation. But the last 2, it was just mental fatigue, tired minds, and bad mistakes from Cloister and Zimmerman.
You could argue that 2 of the problems are, the first one is that we play zonal from corners, and that was the first 2 goals. The second 2 goals, you could argue we were done on a counter, and that is from playing 4 at the back, but essentially playing wing backs and pushing the full backs forward too much.
Yeah.
Then when the attack's on, you've got serious pace running at Closer and Zimmerman, and that's always going to put you in trouble.
And why are we running adventurous overlaps when we're 2 goals up?
Yeah,
you can switch it up at that point. You can switch it up at that point.
Really, that light going out, I think if the light doesn't go out, we win the game.
Oh yeah, who knows? With the state of things recently, who knows?
But our clearances, we were all at sea. We've got
I know. And you know that, and these things,
we'll be top of the league,
and you feel like these things, if they continue, will disqualify us from automatic promotion, because I can't see us making this big a hash of game after game after game.
Bizarrely, away from home we're tighter.
Yeah,
but we're not as expansive away from home. You know?
But another thing is, you know, to switch it to the glass half full argument, we have 3. You could argue our 3 best players were all injured today, or 3 most important players were all injured today. Emi Buendia, Maurice Leitner, and Jamal Lewis was a terrible loss.
Yeah, having said that, I don't think they had a bearing on the goals.
No, I
certainly not the first 2 goals. I don't
think
they probably had a bearing, maybe the last goal. But to be fair, I thought Mario looked great going forward. I thought he played pretty well, and I thought Godfrey played pretty well.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, Hernandez hasn't been playing, and it's been Cantwell.
Hernandez was great today. Hernandez was a shining light today.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Awesome.
So really, I don't think that's the problem. It's just defensively. It's just defensively, you need to sort it out.
Oh well.
tweak it. It's just a tweak. It's such a fine line between conceding a goal and not. We just need to tweak it. I'm just so unhappy. Anyway, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, Merry
All the
Christmas.
best.